All right, here we go. Continuing the thematic playthrough of the LOTR LCG sagas. We are going to be playing The Long Dark, so let's make it thematic. Okay, that's a little too thematic. Okay, we have a lot of cards on the table, so let's start out by looking at the campaign card. So this says shuffle the Burden Treachery cards pursued by the enemy and Shadow of Fear into the encounter deck, and then add Grievous Wound and Overcome by Grief to the staging area. All right, let's take a look at those two cards. They are both condition attachments. Grievous Wound says after a hero takes damage, if Grievous Wound is unattached, attach it to that hero. Count as a condition attachment with the text forced. After attached hero exhausts, deal 1 damage to it. That's horrible. Overcome by Grief, it's despair. And then it says after a character is destroyed, if Overcome by Grief is unattached, attached it to a hero, count as a condition attachment with the text forced. After a character is destroyed, exhaust the attached hero. Until the end of the round, that hero cannot ready. So that means it will go into the next round exhausted because it won't ready in the refresh phase. Absolutely horrible. And then, of course, Gandalf's Delay is still in here, so we don't draw a card on our first turn. We also have Lust for the Ring and Fear of Discovery shuffled into the encounter deck as well. But we have also collected some boons. We're going to attach Old Bogey Stories to Gandalf. That'll let us shuffle away our hand of at least 6 cards and draw 6 more. And then Hotam Bombadil will start in our hand. It's basically a test of will. We also have Mr. Underhill. We choose an enemy engaged with us. That enemy cannot attack until the end of the round. All right, let's take a look at quest card 1A, The Long Dark of Moria. We're going to set 3 cards aside out of play. And then we're going to add Doom, Doom, Doom to the staging area, put 10 damage tokens on it, and then each player is going to place a different location in the staging area. Okay, Doom, Doom, Doom. So this is our big counter. Shadow, Flame, Forced at the end of the quest phase. Remove 1 damage token from Doom, Doom, Doom. Then, if there is no damage tokens here, add the Belrog to the staging area. And then Forced, at the end of the quest phase, the Belrog makes an attack if it is in play. So those both don't happen at the same time. If you do add the Belrog, you get 1 more round before he starts attacking you at the end of the quest phase. Okay, in the staging area, the Mines of Moria, it's a 2/4, and then while it's in the staging area, we have to place the progress on the Mines of Moria before we place it on the quest. Okay, here's the 3 cards we're setting aside. All right, let's take a look at my deck. It's going to be high threat because I want Hero Gandalf, 14 threat, and then he plays with the top card of your deck face up, and he's considered to have the 4 main sphere icons when playing a card this way to help with the high threat because I have to run a hero version of Aragorn. I have Lore Aragorn, who's going to let me drop my threat back down to my starting threat of 32. Moneybags Frodo is back, so I can exhaust the ring in the planning phase to get a resource on a hero's resource pool. And then Merry is giving me access to tactics, somewhat low threat. And then he's another hobbit, which helps with Frodo's intuition. So once again, I'm running the Fellowship contract, so I have the other members of the Fellowship here, 3 copies of each, and to help me draw all of them, tons of card draw. So Daron's Runes, which is actually thematic for once, Deep Knowledge, kind of thematic, sounds thematic at least. It's an Isengard card, but it sounds like something you would get in the mines. 2 copies of Drinking Song, Frodo's Intuition, and then Heed the Dream. This is Boromir heeding the dream to go to Imladris, which eventually gets him on this quest. So all of these cards are going to help me find the cards I'm looking for, which are these allies. And then I need to get a bunch of stuff on Gandalf. So I need his pipe. I have to have his pipe. That's the only way I can guarantee that I can play Sam, because I need him on top of my deck so Gandalf can play him. If I get Narya on Gandalf, he actually gets the leadership icon, so he could pay for Gimli. And then you exhaust Gandalf and Narya to ready 2 allies and give them +1 to their stats. Gandalf's Staff, of course, 1 copy of Fellowship of the Ring, some Fast Hitch. Athelas is so important, so that is my thematic healing in this deck. But more importantly, as you saw, condition removal. You have to be able to remove conditions in this quest. It's so important. Single copy of the Long Defeat to help with some healing and potentially card draw. I have 3 of the boons, Sting, Glamdring, and Andriel, so some weapons here. And then the main tech of the quest, thematically it's awesome. So we got Flame of Anor, which is going to help me kill a big enemy or a Belrog. And then to handle the Balrog's attack is Close Call, which is also super thematic because this is from when Frodo gets stabbed by the big spear actually in the books, it's a orc chieftain. In the movies, it's that cave troll, but it's actually a orc chieftain that stabs him, and the mithril shirt protects him. So definitely a Moria card, and it's super helpful. Doomed X, cancel X damage just dealt to a hero. So that's going to help me survive an attack from a Balrog. All right, let's go back to the table. All right, so I have 4 burdens shuffled into the encounter deck, and I am looking for, like I said, the Wizard's Pipe, because Sam is Spirit. He only costs 1 resource because I control Frodo, but I need to make sure Sam is on top of my deck so Gandalf can play him, and Wizard Pipe will let me move him to the top of my deck. So I really want to find Wizard Pipe, but if I get an opening hand of lots of card draw, I'll just keep that because that also helps me find the Wizard Pipe. And then we have Old Bogey Stories, which gives me one more chance to do a mulligan, basically. So let's try to get this Fellowship online. It's going to be a lot harder than the last quest because I don't have Build a Pony, so it's 1 less ally. And running Gandalf and Lore Aragorn makes it harder to pay for everything. It's a little trickier. All right, let's see if I can do this. Top card of my deck face up. It's Gandalf's Staff. All right, in my hand, Fast Hitch. Some card draw of Deep Knowledge. There's my Close Call. There's Flame of Anor. There's Legolas. Drinking Song. All right, so if I play Deep Knowledge, I draw 2. And then Drinking Song would let me actually shuffle away basically the same amount that I would do in a mulligan. So let's just do this so I can draw 2 cards and see if I can hit that Wizard's Pipe. Okay, so Gandalf's Delay. I don't draw a card on my first turn, so I did that correctly. And now let's play. So I think right off the bat, we're going to do some Deep Knowledge. Doom 2, draw 2 cards. So we know one of them is Gandalf's Staff, and that is a great card, of course. And the next card is, more card draw. All right, top card of the deck is another Drinking Song. Okay, all right, lots of card draw, like I said. Okay, so I think we're going to do Daron's Runes, and I can get rid of that Ho Tom Bombadil from my hand with Daron's Runes. And this is where I make a mistake. I seem to always forget to discard to Daron's Runes when I know which card I'm discarding before I play it. Okay, so I drew Frodo's Intuition, more card draw, and Deep Knowledge. So, yeah, I saw that Deep Knowledge, forgot to discard the card, so I should have discarded Ho Tom Bombadil. Okay, we're going to play the top card of my deck. You're allowed to do that once per phase, so that token's telling me I already did it this phase. Good. We get Athelas and Gandalf's Staff. So now we have, and another Athelas. Okay, so we have a way to handle those condition attachments up in staging. I think I'll put on the Ring. I'm going to give Frodo his own resource, so he has 2 resources, and he'll play Frodo's Intuition. So all my heroes are +1 willpower, and I draw a card for each hobbit. So there's Andril, okay? And our top card is now Boromir. Okay, well, I don't have Sam either, so not having a Wizard's Pipe isn't the worst at the moment, because I also don't have Sam that I'm trying to get in play. Let's spend a lore resource, and we'll play Athelas. So you attach it to a Dunedain or Healer. You exhaust the attached character, and discard it to heal all damage on a character. You may also discard a condition attachment from that character. So that works out really well. It's going on Aragorn, of course. Thematic! Okay, Gandalf's Staff. So that gives you options. So I can draw a card, remove a shadow card, or give somebody a resource. So I'm going to put that on Gandalf. And I never talked about side 1B. So it's 14 progress needed. Forced. After a player optionally engages an enemy, remove 1 damage token from Doom, Doom, Doom. And let's not forget, everyone's boosted by 1. All right, let's go questing. So Merry for 3. Aragorn for 3. And what the heck, let's send Frodo for 3. So we will send 9. We have to put the first 4 progress on those mines in the staging area. And the card we reveal is a Moria Orc. It's a 2-threat. And then when revealed, either remove 1 damage from Doom, 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 or reveal a card. Let's remove the damage. 4 goes on the Mine of Moria, according to the text on that card. We remove a Doomed counter at the end of the quest phase. And now we have an Orc up in staging that we don't want to optionally engage, because if I did, I'd have to remove another Doomed counter. Let's use Gandalf's Staff to give Merry a resource to help pay for Boromir. So let's go into the next round. Okay, my threat is 37. We draw Boromir, and now we have another close call. I don't need those yet. I'm really wishing I had Pippin and Sam. Like, I need to get more characters. So I'm going to use Frodo's ability and Gandalf's staff to give Merry 2 more resources. He can pay for Boromir, who gets +2 defense while defending against an enemy with a higher engagement than mine. And then if he takes damage, he readies. All right, now we're going to play Drinking Song, and let's see if we can't find some of the other cards we're looking for. So I'll give my cards a count. I have a lot of them. And then because I control a Hobbit hero, I get to draw an extra card. So I get to draw 10 cards and flip over the top card of the deck. So that's going to be pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flip. It's Heed the Dream. Okay, maybe that'll find me the pipe if it's not in my hand. Another Heed the Dream. The Flame of Anor, Legolas, Fellowship of the Ring, that's pretty good. Andrul, another Legolas, another Gandalf staff, Gimli, and Gimli. Ugh, nothing but expensive allies. So let's play Heed the Dream. So 1 lore resource, and I get to look at the top 5 cards of my deck. I'm going to play the Heed the Dream on top of my deck, actually. So that'll let me dig down 5 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and close call, close call. Ooh, Wizard Pipe, Sam. Okay, I will grab the Wizard Pipe, and then we shuffle everything back in. So now when I draw Sam, at least I know I have a way to play him. And Wizard Pipe, in general is good because Gandalf can pay for anything, no matter what card's on top of my deck, unless it's a Fellowship card. But yeah, Wizard Pipe is very helpful. Okay, now we have Narya on top of my deck, which is great, but I've already used Gandalf. That token's reminding me that I've already used Gandalf to pay for a card on the top of my deck, or even if it's free. Once you've played the card off the top of your deck, you can't do it again the same phase, so that token helps me remember. Let's play a second Athlas on Aragorn. So now these condition attachments I can get rid of. There's one in the encounter deck as well, so condition removal is pretty important for this quest. And that's all I can do. I got Boromir in play, at least, and I got a Wizard Pipe in hand. So everyone's not boosted anymore. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need to make progress here. So 7 against 2. Oh, boy. Okay, the Deep Fissure. Hazard, Peril. When revealed, remove a character from the quest. Then you discard the top card of the encounter deck, and you compare the threat of that card to the printed willpower of the character removed from the quest. If there is more threat, you discard the character. This could end my game right here, so it's going to have to be Merry. Drop my willpower by 2. Okay, let's see, and it's nothing. Oh, okay, Merry made the jump. I'm really glad to see that treachery go away. All right, we actually made 2 progress, which is kind of a shock. And then another doom goes off. The orcs' engagement cost is still higher than our threat, so we're not going to engage it, and we're going to go right into the next round. All right, so we're going to draw Narya. That's going to be very helpful. And then another Flame of Anor on top of my deck. I don't need that right now. I have Heed the Dream in my hand, so let's see if we can't find Sam. So top 5 cards, I get to pick 1. Can spend 3 leadership resources to search my entire deck for a card, but of course I can't do that right now. Okay, I could grab Pippin or some card draw. Let's grab Pippin. So that's going to be a good ally to get into play, and he will ready when I engage somebody with a higher engagement, and he gets +2 attack when attacking somebody with a higher engagement. So Pippin will be the 6th character. I need to get to 9, of course. So let's put on the ring, give Merry a resource, spend his 2 resources, pop in Pippin, so he's going to be able to quest for 2, which is extremely helpful. On top of the deck is Legolas. Okay, I already have a copy of Legolas in hand. Let's see, I could play Andrul and boost Aragorn, and he can attack after he defends. That's not bad. But I think I'm going to put in Narya on Gandalf. So Gandalf will have the leadership resource icon, and he'll be able to ready 2 allies if he exhausts, and he will boost those allies' stats. So I think that's a good call right now. So I can quest with both of my allies and then ready them if I need to. Yeah, okay. And it gets him the leadership resource icon, which will help me get Gimli in play. All right, so let's quest for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm hesitant to exhaust Frodo because there's a burden in this encounter deck that hurts me if he's exhausted. Okay, we cannot get out. Each player assigns X damage among characters he controls, where X is the number of characters he controls that are exhausted. That's going to be 4 damage. Here's where Athelas is really going to help. So I'm going to put all 4 on Gandalf. And because a hero just took damage, we're going to attach Grievous Wound. So now whenever Gandalf exhausts, he's going to take a damage. But it's a condition attachment, and so Athelas is going to help me get rid of it. All right, we have made 5 more progress, 8 out of 14. Doom, doom, doom triggers. And now our engagement is 38, so we will engage this orc. It was bad timing for Gandalf to take this damage, to be honest, because I can't exhaust him to ready Boromir, which was totally my plan. So I could use Mr. Underhill to cancel this 3 attack, but that just seems like a waste. I've played this quest enough times to know I need to really save this for when I'm in a really tough situation. So let's use Gandalf's staff. We're going to get rid of the shadow. Oh, awesome. Okay, so that is the burden I was talking about that makes me nervous to send Frodo on the quest. So now I don't need to worry about that. It surges again if Frodo's exhausted. Okay, Frodo's defending for 2, and then this guy's attacking for 3 with no shadow. So Frodo takes 1 damage, and nobody can attack back because if I exhaust Gandalf, he'll take his 5th damage and die. So that would be bad. He needs to stick around for a big thematic moment here at the end. Okay, let's ready everybody. Yep, there goes a roller. And then my threat is 39. We have 6 doom counters left. Let's make it 41 for playing Deep Knowledge. We get Pippin and Glamdring. Okay. And then now the top card is Hotom Bombadil. And believe it or not, I'm going to remember that should not be in the deck here in a little bit. I'm going to remember that Daron's Runes should have got rid of that sucker. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I drew like an extra card because of Drinking Song because of it, I guess, but I don't think it's affecting anything because my hand doesn't have what I need. All right, Frodo's going to get a resource, and we're going to put that resource on Gandalf, so he now has 3 resources. His staff is going to give him his 4th resource. He has the leadership resource icon thanks to Narya. Gimli's going to come in, so he readies when an enemy is revealed, and his stats are 2, 2, 2, 3. Okay, so we're getting there. We need 2 more members of this fellowship to show up. Let's exhaust Aragorn. We'll discard Athelas, and that will heal all damage on another character and discard a condition attachment. So for an exhaust of Aragorn, we're healing 4 and getting rid of this absolutely terrible burden. So totally worth it. Totally worth it. That is a game ender if you can't get rid of it. And okay, we added another ally, so that's helpful. We're engaged with an orc. We gotta get to the next quest stage here. So let's grab Glamdring, giving Gandalf +2 attack, and then if he destroys an orc, he gets to draw a card. The problem is I'd kind of like to leave this enemy engaged with me for reasons you will see. But, I mean, I know what can happen in this quest, and there are some really nasty enemies, so I don't like staying engaged with an enemy. All right, let's send Gimli and Pippin for 2, Merry for 2. That is 6 against nothing, and we get the Many-Pillared Hall. Okay, so it gets +1 threat for every Many-Pillared Hall in the staging area. So that was 2. So we make 4, so we're at 12 out of 14. Doom, doom, doom triggers. And we travel to the Many-Pillared Hall. Okay, halfway through this doom, doom, doom. Once those counters go off, a Belrog comes into play. If I had known we were revealing a location, I would have sent Frodo, but I had to count on an enemy showing up. So Gandalf will defend. He takes no damage, and then Frodo and Boromir together can swing for 4, and that's enough to kill this guy. And you can see I'm just debating, do I want to kill this enemy or not? I have to. I just have to assume I'm going to start getting lots of enemies, and I need to kill them when I can. So we kill that enemy, and we will advance into the next round. Okay, the next card on top of the deck is... Oh, good. Okay, Frodo's Intuition, so I can keep that in my back pocket. All right, let's play Wizard's Pipe. So I get to put that on Gandalf, and then I can swap a card in my hand with a card on top of my deck. So let's do that, and we're going to put Legolas on top of my deck. And I currently have 1 resource on Gandalf, 2 on Merry, so I'm going to use Frodo's ability to give Merry or Gandalf 1 more resource. Spending all 4, Legolas will come in. He has a ranged attack of 3. Range doesn't matter in solo, but after he destroys an enemy or participates in an attack that destroys an enemy, I get to draw a card. Okay, Sting on top of my deck. All right, that's a good card. Let's go questing. 2 from Gimli, 2 from Pippin, 1 from Boromir, 2 from Aragorn, 2 from Merry. So we are setting 9 against nothing, and we get the Ancient Guard Room. Okay, so it's 3 threat, and then to travel there, we need to discard the top card of the encounter deck and raise our threat by its threat. We are going to be a little short, so let's play Frodo's Intuition. Get it? A little short. So I'm going to use Gandalf's Staff, get a resource, and then all of my heroes get +1 willpower. That's going to give me 2 more willpower and draw me 2 cards, another Wizard's Pipe, and Sting, Long Defeat. Okay, dang, I wish I could have had that in play already, but we do clear the Many-Pillared Hall, which was 6, and then the last 2 are what we need to clear this quest stage, and then doom, doom, doom goes off, leaving us 4. All right, let's go to 2A. When revealed, add the Chamber of Mazarbel to the staging area. Okay, the chamber is a 4 threat, 4 progress, immune, underground. The players cannot advance to the next stage. To travel there, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a different enemy, adds it to the staging area. One of those has to be the Orc Chieftain. Okay, 2B, 9 progress needed. If there are no enemies in the staging area at the beginning of the quest phase, the first player reveals an additional encounter card. The players cannot advance until we destroy 3 enemies. So we need to kill 3 enemies. Each time we do, we'll place a resource on the quest stage. Once we get 3 resources there, we can finally advance. That's why I wasn't too excited to kill that orc, because, 1 more dead orc at this stage means I can progress faster, and I just seem to be having all kinds of problems revealing enemies, and I'm ready for them. I am ready. All right, we got the Orc Chieftain. 40 engagement, 4/4, 3/6, Orc Urk. He is not unique. He cannot have attachments. Allies cannot be declared defenders against him. And forced, at the beginning of the encounter phase, Orc Chieftain engages the first player. This is the guy I want to use Mr. Underhill for. He's also, not unique, so you can use the Wizard's Staff to get rid of the Shadow card. You can trigger cards against him because he's not immune either. He's not really that bad. You just want to kill him right away. So Mr. Underhill going into victory display, so that means he will not attack me. My threat is 42, so I do not get to ready Pippin when I engage this guy. Okay, so let's see what the shadow would have been. It would have been a shadow that says +1 attack. Alrighty, can I kill this guy? I can use Legolas for 3, Frodo for 1, Gandalf for 3. That's 7, so that's not enough. So I'm going to use Gandalf. Oh no, Gandalf is +2 because of Glamdring. So Gandalf is 5, Frodo is 6, Legolas is 3. No, that's it. That's 9. Okay, I do have exactly 9, so I get to kill the Orc Chieftain, and then because I destroyed an orc, and then because Legolas participated, I get to draw 2 cards, one from Glamdring and one from Legolas, so that's very cool. And because we destroyed an enemy, I will be placing 1 resource on the quest, 2 more to go. I think that's everything. All right, let's go into the next round. So this is where you can lose the quest, because if I don't reveal an enemy, 2 of them actually, I can get stuck here, and then the Balrog comes out. But boy, oh boy, look who decided to show up. Sam finally makes an appearance. He is currently on top of my deck, so I'm happy about that. So let's go into the next round. I draw the card, and Daron's Runes is on top of the deck, but I don't want to play that because I need to put Sam on top of my deck. So Wizard's Pipe, doing a switcheroo. Sam's on top of my deck. He only costs 1 because I control Frodo. Spend Gandalf's resource as a spirit resource. We have Sam. He has an ability that you can ready him and give him a stat boost if you spend a spirit resource, but we just completed the Fellowship. So we control 9 characters, so that means we get to flip the contract over. All of my characters get +1 to their stats, so that is absolutely epic. Perfect timing. And we draw 2 cards with Daron's Runes, I need to put that token on Gandalf, so I remember I've already used his ability this phase. All right, Fast Hitch, finally. Frodo's Intuition, another Daron's Runes. So, yeah, I can't play that one because I already used Gandalf this phase. All right, let's discard the Wizard Pipe. Yep. Now, not too much to do except for some events and attachments. And definitely no more allies coming into play, but that's okay. All right, Fast Hitch lets me ready a Hobbit character, so let's put that on Merry so he can quest and then help attack. And then when Merry participates in an attack with somebody that destroys an enemy, he can ready that character that helped. So it's great to get 2 uses out of Merry. Let's put the ring on Frodo so I get a 3rd resource somewhere. And then I'm going to use all 3 resources to put in Andriel, Flame of the West. And we're going to give Aragorn +1 to his stats. So Aragorn just got double boosted in the same round. So he's an absolute beast, as he should be. No more resources to spend, so let's go into the quest phase. We're going to be revealing 2 cards. Andriel also has an ability that says once Aragorn has been declared a defender, he can then declare himself an attacker against the enemy he just defended. He doesn't have to be ready or anything, so pretty cool. All right, so that's me saying, oh yeah, okay, I can't use this Daron's Runes because I used Gandalf already this phase, but I can play Daron's Runes in the quest phase or something during an action window. All right, so Aragorn questing for 4, Merry for 3, Gimli for 3, Sam for 3, Pippin for 3. All right, we're sending a bunch, and then we get They Are Coming. Okay, so Doomed 2, that's scary. When revealed, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and discard cards until we get an enemy and add that enemy to the staging area. Actually, that's great. I'm glad they're coming. I mean, it's super thematic too. We're in the chamber right now. We hear them coming, but I need 2 enemies to come out. So it would be really great if the second card we have to reveal is also an enemy. There goes that burden again. Holy cow, both burdens gone. Ah, dang. Okay, there's another. They Are Coming. Okay, so we do get an enemy, but 2 big burdens left the game. That's awesome. We get the Uruk from Mordor. He's not that bad because he was discarded, not revealed. So I don't have to worry about his when revealed effect. All right, second card. We cannot get out. Okay, we've seen this one already. So deal damage equal to the number of exhausted characters we have. That's not a big deal. I have 4 characters exhausted, so let's just deal out the damage. I have a card I'm going to be playing next turn that should be able to clear all this damage, so that's actually fine because it revealed no threat. So 4 will go on the chamber, and then 7 is going to go on the quest. So I need 2 more, and then doom, doom, doom goes off. All right, I don't want to travel there because I'd have to raise my threat, and my threat is 45. And if I raise it by 4, I could lose. Okay, let's play Daron's Runes. I'm going to draw 2 cards, Fast Hitch and Close Call. And this actually, because I looked down and I saw the special card sleeve back on the Hotom Bombadil card in my hand. I realized, wasn't I supposed to have discarded that? And yeah, see, there's Daron's Runes with no card discarded after it. So there we go. I tried to fix it. And now top card is Heed the Dream. And now I need to discard a card to this Daron's Runes. Playing with Gandalf where you remember to flip over that top card, it screws me up sometimes. I forget what I'm actually doing. All right, Gimli discarded. All right, well, Gandalf's defending for 4, and he can discard a shadow card, so there we go. Got rid of that shadow. And then plenty of characters that can swing back and kill this guy, easy peasy, including Legolas, who's going to draw me a card. So we have 2 out of the 3 tokens. We draw Heed the Dream, Narya on top of the deck. Now we go to the end of the round. So everybody readies. You raise your threat by 1. So that's why I couldn't be at 49 going into this step, because you raise your threat. And now I can trigger Aragorn. I'm going to drop my threat back down to 32. So just bought myself a lot of time. Everyone gets their resources. And let's go into the next round. Doing pretty good. I got the Fellowship going. I only have a little bit of damage on the board. I just need another enemy to show up before all these doomed counters go off. So another copy of Sam on top of my deck. All right, Long Defeat. I'm going to attach that to the quest stage. We are definitely fighting the Long Defeat here. The elves know that this is just a battle that they'll never eventually win altogether. So when we clear this quest stage, we can either heal 5 damage or draw 2 cards. And I'm going to put the Fellowship of the Ring on Frodo. So all of my heroes will get +1 willpower. So let's keep boosting everybody's stats. If a character is destroyed, we have to discard Fellowship of the Ring. So all of my heroes are now boosted by at least 2. Aragorn's boosted by 1 more, thanks to Andril. So we are in as good a place as we can be getting ready to deal with this Balrog. Let's go questing, and I hope we reveal an enemy. All right, Merry for 4, Frodo for 4, Gimli for 3, Sam for 3, Pippin for 3. So we'll be sending a total of 17 against 3. We just need to make a couple progress. Come on, enemy. No, the Mines of Moria, so we got to place progress on that first. And then, okay, the Orc Chieftain is back. That's fine. Okay, so that's 4 threat. So we're going to place 4 on the Mines of Moria, and then we have enough to put the amount of progress we need on the quest to advance. We just need to kill this enemy. Let's not forget Doom, Doom, Doom. Okay, Ancient Guard Room. So we're going to travel there. We're going to discard the top card of the encounter deck and raise our threat by its threat. And it is another Ancient Guard Room. So we got to raise our threat by 3. All right. And then engage this Orc Chieftain. That's going to ready Pippin when we engage it. And then actually Gimli should have readied when we revealed it. Okay. So this guy is attacking for 4, and we've already dealt with him once. Allies cannot defend against it, so Gandalf will defend for 4 and get rid of the Shadow. It's not a unique enemy. Okay, so the Shadow was nothing anyway, and then we're going to swing back with plenty of characters. Legolas, Gimli, Boromir, Pippin, Aragorn. Yeah, definitely dead. So we take care of this guy, which is our 3rd enemy defeated. So that means we will now advance to the next stage. When we advance, we get to trigger the long defeat, and I'm going to choose the heal the damage option. So I'm going to heal all the damage on the board. So let's go into the final stage with no damage on the board. The Fellowship is up and running, and let's take care of this quest. 3A, the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. When revealed, add the Great Bridge to the staging area, and each player reveals 1 encounter card and removes 1 damage token from Doom, Doom, Doom. That means we only have 1 counter left. Okay, the Great Bridge, it's a 5/5 underground bridge. Immune, response, when the Great Bridge is explored, discard a hero from play to deal X damage to the Balrog. X is that hero's threat cost. The Balrog loses all keywords for the remainder of the game. Okay, so that is how we get rid of the Balrog. We have to sacrifice a hero on the Great Bridge here. So let's reveal our encounter card. Okay, it's another Mines of Moria, so we got to put the 4 progress there. Okay, 3B, 15 progress needed. No more than 5 progress can be placed here each round, so you know you're going to be getting attacked by that Balrog every single quest phase and combat phase if you don't get rid of it for 3 rounds if it was already in play. So really nasty. The players cannot defeat the stage while the Great Bridge is in play. If the players defeat the stage, they win the game. So we're going to have a big epic moment here. Gandalf's going to make his last stand on the bridge, keeping that Balrog from chasing the Fellowship out of Moria. Let's see if we can pull this off. All right. So we are now at the end of the round because we advanced in the combat phase when we destroyed our 3rd enemy. So let's go into the next turn. I got the full Fellowship. I'm all powered up. I got Andril, Fellowship of the Ring. I mean, it's going about as good as I could hope as we get to this last stage here. All right, the card on top of my deck now is another copy of Boromir. That's good. I just wanted a 4-cost card on top of my deck. All right, we got Close Call. I can do some readying with these fast hitches. I think, actually what? I'm going to do the Heed the Dream. I'm going to try to get a second Close Call in my deck. I only have a few cards left in the deck, so I should be able to find a Close Call. Yeah, there they are. Okay, so I got Close Call times 2. So I am pretty safe from the Balrog because I dropped my threat last round, so I can handle some Doomed, and then Close Call ends up on top of the deck. Okay, so all 3 copies are available to me. I have 4-cost cards in my hand, so I can use the Wizard's Pipe to make sure one of those are on top of my deck. Let's put on the ring, and we're going to spend a resource to put Fast Hitch on Frodo. So Frodo can now ready after he commits to the quest or something. And then let's give him Sting. So he gets +1 to his stats, and then after he exhausts to defend, I discard the top card of the encounter deck, and I deal damage to the attacking enemy equal to the discarded card's threat cost. So pretty awesome. That's why it's better on Sam, because he's usually my defender, not Frodo, but thematically, of course, Frodo should have Sting right now. All right, let's go questing. There's 7 threat in staging, and then I have to place the progress on the Mines of Moria before I place them on the active location. So I really want to place the 5 progress. So I think I need to send Aragorn as well. So all of my characters are +1 willpower, and then Aragorn and Frodo are each an additional +1 from their swords, and then all the heroes are additional +1 from Fellowship of the Ring. So a lot of boosting going on. So I'm going to send 23, and the card we reveal is, oh man, this could be bad. So it's another Deep Fissure. So that's where you remove a character from the quest, and then that character has to leap over the fissure, and you discard the top card of the encounter deck and compare the threat of that card to the printed willpower of the character. Now, this is one of my favorite little moments from the book, because if you read the flavor text, it talks about how Pippin had to muster up his courage to jump over this thing. So I'm going to choose Pippin. Let's keep it super thematic, and let's see if Pippin can make the leap. And wow, okay, he did. That's amazing. And that also got rid of a really good card. So Pippin was able to jump over that fissure. That was a pretty cool thematic moment here to have at the last second. Okay, so we clear the mines, we clear the active location, and then we are able to put the 5 progress on. But at the end of the quest phase, we remove the final counter from Doom! 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 And then that says forced. After the final counter was removed, put the Belrog in play. And then there's a second forced effect that says, at the end of the quest phase, the Belrog makes an attack if it's in play. That doesn't actually trigger because you didn't have the Belrog in play at the end of the quest phase. At the end of the quest phase, you still had a doomed counter. But next round, he is definitely going to make an attack at the end of the quest phase. So he is a 50 engagement, 5, 8, 9, 25. Belrog, Shadow, Flame, Indestructible, cannot be optionally engaged. The Belrog and Shadow cards dealt to the Belrog are immune to player card effects. While in the staging area, the Belrog is considered to be engaged with the first player, and only the first player can declare attackers against the Belrog, and he has 50 victory points. All right, 25 hit points, 9 defense. He's a beast. Okay, it's time for the last race. So the Fellowship is going to travel to the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. So let's head over to the Great Bridge. There's no travel effect to go there. And it's 5 progress to clear. And then, like I said, we're going to want to place 5 progress on the quest next round. Okay, the Belrog is attacking for 8. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't remove a shadow card, but you can declare a defender. But thematically, who can really defend against a Belrog except for Gandalf? He's just going to take it. There was no shadow, and now we're going to play Close Call, Doomed 8, because that's how much damage Gandalf would have just taken. And he is still ready. All right, so now we can attack back. Now, Gandalf could have defended that, and then I could have used Flame of Anor to ready him. But I wanted to take it all as damage because that just seemed more thematic to me. So everyone's going to attack, and it's going to be a total of 20. Let's flip over the top card. Okay, it's Boromir. He's going to use his staff to give himself a resource, and then he's going to use Flame of Anor. And what you do is you ready and exhausted a starry character. You discard the top card of your deck to give that character plus X attack. X is the cost of the card on top of your deck. So if it wasn't a 4-cost card, I would have used Wizard Pipe. So that means Gandalf just got a +4 boost. So we are attacking for a total of 24. 24 minus 9 means we do 15 damage. All right, the Belrog has 15 damage. It's indestructible, though. Even if you put infinity damage on this thing, it wouldn't die. So we need to get over the bridge. So let's go into the next round, and now it's a race. It's a race to cross the bridge. Okay, here we go. The card we draw is a Wizard Pipe Gimli on top of the deck. I'm going to play Frodo's Intuition to give all my heroes +1 willpower, and then, of course, I get to draw 2 cards, and then that's it for planning. We are just going to rush this bridge and get out of here. So Drinking Song in hand as well. Boromir back on top of the deck, sending all the characters on the quests that I think I'm going to need. So we're going to send Merry. He readies. Gandalf's going on the quest. Frodo commits. He readies. Remember, they're all boosted again if you're a hero. Pippin, Sam, Gimli. It's going to be a total of 26. We're up against 5. We can only place 5 progress on the quest. So no matter how much we send, we can't get out of here. We just got to make it over this bridge. All right, the card we reveal is a Moria Archer. So we're going to take a damage. Gandalf's going to take that damage. That only added 1 threat, so we do make enough progress. All right, here we go. Big thematic moment. The Balrog is attempting to cross the bridge. Gandalf stands in his way. The Fellowship is standing on the other side. Gandalf raising a staff above his head.
You shall not pass!
Gandalf strikes the bridge of his staff. The Balrog falls into the fiery chasm below. Gandalf stands there, bent and tired. As the Balrog falls, it uses its whip to grab Gandalf by the ankle, yanks him over the edge of the bridge into the abyss, and as he falls, he gives his final instruction to the Fellowship.
Fly, you fools!
14 more damage go on the Balrog, and because he has lost his keywords, he can be destroyed. The Balrog is gone, but so is Gandalf. This is not an editing trick. Gandalf is no longer in play. We have lost a hero. Our Fellowship contract is no longer active. He was not destroyed, he was discarded. So we do not need to attach Overcome by Grief, but we definitely are. Well, suffice to say, Aragorn is not too happy about this. So we get engaged by this archer. It's going to fling an arrow at somebody. And Aragorn is definitely going to be handling this attack. He is pretty ticked off. So he takes a damage. And then he's going to exhaust to defend. He's no longer boosted by the contract, but he is boosted by Andril. There is no shadow, and then Aragorn can use Andril to attack back, even though he's exhausted. So he's going to do 2 of the 3 damage that we needed to do to kill this guy. Legolas is going to deal the killing blow with returning some fire with the arrow, taking out this archer, drawing a card in the process. We're going to go into the next round, and it's the last race. We are getting out of here into the sunlight, heading to Lorien. Flame of Anor on top of the deck, that's just a painful reminder that we no longer have an Astari character in play. All 8 of the remaining characters are going to commit to the quest, which is going to be a total of 19 willpower. No more boost from the Fellowship contract, but we still have the Fellowship of the Ring, because that also says after a character was destroyed, we have to discard it, and Gandalf was just discarded, like it's not a big deal. Okay, 19 against nothing, 5 progress to make. The cards we get is a Mines of Moria, so we run through the mines, placing the 4 progress on there, and definitely placing the 5 we needed. That is enough to get out of here. We have survived, but we lost our guide, and now we get to see what happens when we resolve this campaign. Resolution. The first player must choose one of the Burden Treachery cards pursued by the enemy or Shadow of Fear, and one of the Burden Objective cards, Grievous Wound or Overcome by Grief, to add to the campaign pool. If the Balrog is still in play, you choose all 4. So obviously getting rid of the Balrog is huge because these are terrible cards. They're just all terrible. So let's take a look at the pairings. So Grievous Wound we saw in action. So every time the attached hero would exhaust, you deal a damage to it. I mean, that's absolutely horrible. Overcome by Grief only triggers if a character is destroyed, and then whatever hero it's attached to can't ready. It's terrible, but manageable. So we're going to keep Overcome by Grief, and I also think it's more thematic, because right now we are definitely Overcome by Grief. All right, now let's take a look at these 2. We never revealed either, thank goodness. Both doomed 1, both surged. Pursued by the enemy says, when revealed, each enemy engaged with a player and not in the staging area makes an immediate attack. And the shadow is attacking enemy makes an additional attack. And then Shadow of Fear says, when revealed, treat the printed text box of each character in play as blank, except for traits, until the end of the round. Shadow, defending character does not count its defense. Both absolutely horrible, but pursued by the enemy at least can whiff. If you're not engaged with an enemy, it just surges. And then the shadow is terrible, of course, additional attack. But I think losing your defense is worse, because I think that could kill a character, whereas an additional attack, at least you have a chance to try to defend that additional attack. So we have added Overcome by Grief and Pursued by the Enemy to the campaign pool. We lost Gandalf, so we can no longer have Gandalf in any of our decks, and now we enter the woods of Lorien, where we will be greeted by Celeborn and the Lady Galadriel for the next quest of this saga. Man, I gotta tell you, that was awesome. That was really awesome. I really enjoyed that. Okay, I hope you did too. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.